Hi everyone! So you must be asking yourself, what is this big box behind me? Well, this is a Samsung 4K TV, but it's not just any 4K TV. This is actually called The Frame, a new concept from Samsung, which I find is pretty decent. Where this comes with QLED technology, 100% quantum dot technology, but this thing actually is designed to be literally a frame, like a picture frame, right? But it's a TV. And where you're gonna see when I take it out of the box, what they've actually done, they've taken out all of the electronics that makes a typical 4K TV be pretty thick, like maybe an inch or half an inch, and makes it so slim that it literally is like a picture frame. All that technology is actually in a separate box, which you can then install, in your home entertainment system, next to your Xbox or your PlayStation, and just goes out of the way, right? So that's one good thing. But it also comes with 1,400 pieces of art, so it could actually, so you can actually have a screensaver, you can actually have pictures, so it looks like a real picture frame, right? Which is really cool. And I talked about the slim fit technology, and yeah, so this is a 50-inch one, and what we're gonna do, take out the box, let's look at it in a bit more detail, and let's take a closer look at this really cool TV. Now, I believe the model, yeah, it's a QN50L, so it's a QN50 series, so it's a quantum dot technology. So this would be, I guess, in the mid range when it comes to pricing, mid range tier for 4K TVs. Um, but yeah, so let's take this lovely QLED or QLED TV out the box and look at it in a bit more detail. Right, so I've just taken the contents out of the little bags here. I haven't gotten to these yet. But looking at what we have here, we have the feet here in closer detail. And what I like about these feet, there's no left foot or right foot. These feet can go on either side of the TV. And I'll show you that in a second when I install them. But that's pretty cool. Here you have our AC power cable. Here we have our remote, of course. And here we have, this looks like some cable management, right? Go on the back of the TV to manage your cables. This obviously by the angle, this is this like cable management or like a little raceway for this cable, right? The bend is there. You don't want to bend this too much and break it or damage the cable. So I'm sure that this is for this cable. Speaking of this cable, this is what connects the One Connect box that's in here to the TV itself. And you can't go wrong with this installation. It's a very simple cable to install. It has these covers that protect these plugs. I would strongly recommend don't throw these covers away, because there may be a time you're moving with the TV to a different house or something, or apartment, or you're just storing it. And these covers are very important because these two plugs, as you can see, there's a lot of pins inside there, right? And you don't want dust and stuff to get in there that could, compromise the connectivity. So when in storage, always keep these cables, keep these covers in place so you can just put it in place like that, right? Now, when it comes to installing this on the TV, you cannot go wrong. One, because there are two different plugs, so they can only plug into one thing. At this you cannot plug this into something this size and vice versa. It's foolproof. And as for further measure, there is the word TV is written on this. You may not see that from this angle, but there's a word that says TV on there. So obviously this will plug into the back of the TV. This then plugs into the box and so forth. So we will set that up in a minute and I'll show you, right? Other than that, we have our paperware, right? Brochures, user manual, quick start guide, and this is the wall mount, and this is the One Connect box. That being said, let's look inside these now a bit more closely. Okay, so first observation, this thing is heavy. So it must contain like the power supply and all that good stuff that you would normally find in the TV frame itself. Taking all that out, put that in this cool little box. enclosure. This looks nice. This looks nice. Take off protective covering. Wow, look at that. Very clean look. And the top surface doesn't smudge, which is good. But I noticed the front, yeah, the front might smudge a little bit, but it's a very, very clean look. This is something that you can put in your home entertainment center, next to your Blu-ray player, next to your Xbox or PlayStation, and it just fades away into the darkness because it just blends in, right? The neutral color, and it's a very clean look. All right, doesn't look like a cheap piece of plastic. It looks really nice. Now, what I've noticed immediately is that I was correct. It does have the built-in power supply for the TV built into the box. I'm sure that's one of the reasons why it does weigh quite a bit. I swear it weighs at least 1 kilogram. So it has some weight to it. But looking at the other ports there, you see we have the EX Link port here. We have a USB 2.0 port, which also can be a power source for an external hard drive. Here we have our coax, right, or antenna in or coax port for your cable TV. Here we have our digital audio out port, which is an optical connection, so you put your fiber into that, you connect into your surround sound system. Here we have our RJ45 LAN port, and oh my goodness, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 HDMI ports. I find a lot of these 4K TVs nowadays only come with 3, but this bad boy has 4, which is lovely because, you know, the average person has a Blu-ray player, you have an Xbox, you got a PlayStation, and you need that 4th HDMI port for something else, right? There's so many really cool peripherals out there that you can hook up to these TVs. So speaking of hookups, so the third port, HDMI 3, also doubles as an eARC port. And over here we have our One Connect port. So this is where you connect that special cable we looked at earlier to your television. And it has that proprietary type port, so you cannot make any mistake and put something else into this port. Now, there's an extra port on the side here. Oh, wrong side. Over here, yeah, there's another USB port here as well for peripherals. Other than that, there's nothing else, right? Yeah, and I would strongly recommend, because I'm sure that there's for the remote, the sensors in the front here somewhere. I'm sure of it. So it actually, when I install this, when you install this in your home entertainment center, make sure that the front here is visible, right? Because I'm sure there's a sensor in there for your remote. But this is the One Connect box, and yeah, it does. I can't stress this enough. This actually has some weight to it. So they put all the heavy stuff out of the TV, put it in here, and I'm sure that when we do look at the TV screen itself, also known as the frame, it's going to be nice and lightweight, right? So next we are going to take the wall mount out of this box. Now the wall mount is only needed if you're not going to table mount your TV. And what's good about the wall mount is that it comes with a wall mount. Well, let me put it the other way. What's good about this TV is that it comes with its own wall mount. You don't have to get a third-party wall mount system to install your TV. So here we have installation instructions. Yeah, so that's aside. We have here some cautions when installing instructions. Here we seem to have, this looks like some type of blueprint, I guess, for when you're going to install wall mount the system, right? More of that. Something that looks like a retro 5 1/4 diskette ×2, but I'm sure these have another usage. I'm guessing these protect the wall. Well, we'll find out shortly. Okay, the Looks like some type of stickers. Alright, now the real stuff. They're nicely labeled, right? All of the assembly parts for the wall mount are here. So labeled A, B, and F. We have screws and wall inserts for the screws. And here we have some more mounting materials, double-sided tape and whatnot. And that's it. So this is all the parts that are required for wall mounting this TV. A, F, B. Oh, here's an E here. So A, B. Okay, C and D and E, F. So I'm guessing one of these is C and the other is D. But anyway, they're labeled nicely, and obviously the installation instructions are here as well. And this is all part of the wall mounting system, right? So that's the contents of the wall mounting system. Again, I just stress, in this video I'm just going to show you how to obviously install the feet so the TV can stand up on a tabletop. But if you need to install this on the wall, these instructions are pretty straightforward. Mount these on the wall, and what I like about this mounts, they're not huge and clumsy, and obviously the reason for that is because the TV itself is going to be very light. Well, the screen unit, I must say, because remember the One Connect box that we looked at, that has all the weight in there, right? That has on the power supply, on all the other electronics that normally adds a lot of weight to the traditional flat screen TV. So now that's removed, you can have a light mount to wall mount this lighter screen unit on the wall, right? So that's this. All right. Okay, so I've taken the TV, or I should say the screen of the TV out of the box, and we're going to see it much better when I've actually mounted it on its feet and it's in the vertical position. But as you can see already, this is a very, very slim form factor, right? Because all of the gadgetry and all the electronics is in the, what do you call it? The One Connect box, which I have over there. So as you can see, I've taken it out of the box, and it comes with this packing material. I strongly recommend that you use this to protect the screen of the TV. So I have it flat on a flat surface, and I have this protective material protecting the screen from being scratched. Now, first observation, as you can see, this thing is very, very flat, right? Because all of those electronics are in that One Connect box. So that's, makes this really, really, really a great candidate for a wall mount, right? Because you can put this on the wall, it looks like a picture frame, hence the term, the Samsung frame. Anyway, what we're going to do next is install the feet, because I'm going to just install this as a table mount. Well, as a, put this on. But what I'm going to do is install the feet on this thing right now, because I'm not going to wall mount it. I'm just going to have it, stand up on a table for this review. So let's go ahead and install the feet now. Now these are the feet that it comes with, and on older TVs there's one that had to be configured to be a left foot only on a right foot only, right? In other words, you can only connect the feet either on the right only or either on the left only. With this design, you can put these feet anywhere, left or right, it doesn't matter, right? So I'm going to, before I install it, I'm going to show you what the foot looks like up close. This is what it looks like. There's this mechanism that comes out like this. I'm going to pull it out and lock it in place like that. And then the next thing I do, I'm going to just install it on the TV. But before I do that, I'm going to zoom in a bit closer so you can see how it's done for yourself. So here, as you can see, is the enclosure where I'm going to slide this leg in to the, I guess, the back of the chassis of the TV, right? Now, what I showed you earlier is that this clip, usually when it comes out of the box, it's this clip is in this position. Just pull the clip out all the way 180 degrees till it locks in place like that. Then I'm going to turn it this way, right, such that this is facing up. And I'm going to then line this up with the slot here. I'm going to push it in. Hold the top of the TV just for some support if it's by myself, because if somebody was helping me, they can hold the other side of the TV so that it doesn't slide, and then it clips into place. And as you can see, it's solidly, it's in there, it's stable. Now what's good about this is that you don't need any tools, and it's very, very easy to install. Now I'm sure you guys are going to ask yourselves, well, I heard it lock in place, it looks pretty strong there. If I wanted to change my mind and I disconnect this because I'm going to move somewhere else, or I want to wall mount it, how do I get this out of, disconnect this from the back of the TV? Simple. You just, hold the TV and give it one yank like that, and it comes right out. It's as simple as that. So again, to install it, put this clip in this position, turn it upside down like that, line it up with the groove, and push it, and it locks in place like that. And to disconnect it, you just pull it out. So let's do the other side now. Here's the other side. We take our foot, pull the clip into that position, because this is part of the locking mechanism that keeps it locked in place, because as you can see, there's a little bump here, and this is actually what locks into that bump, so to speak, and it locks it in place. Anyway, turn it upside down, line up with the groove, push, and then when you know it's installed, when you hear that click, and that's the click. Now as you can see, this TV is very thin because all of the electronics are in that external box. That is very thin. That's like about an inch. Alright, so there's no bulge at the back. It's just a thin slab of TV screen. That's all there is. And here's the back of the TV. As you can see, there is no ports. There are no ports. There's no electronics. Just your 4 VESA mounts right there in the middle for wall mounting. And at the very bottom here, let me zoom in. It's the port that we're going to be connecting to our external box, our One Connect box. It's right here in the middle at the top. And that's it. Alright, this is an interesting design by Samsung. It will be interesting to see if this design takes off in future models. But this pretty much is it, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let's take a closer look at the remote. Now, traditionally, a remote would need to have a set of batteries. With this, that's not the case. Why? Well, because it is actually called the Samsung Solar Cell Remote. And on the back here, we have a solar panel that actually charges the built-in lithium-ion battery, and it uses the light indoors. You don't have to take this outdoors to charge it. Like the natural light that comes inside your home or your apartment is enough light to charge this thing. Now, if you want to charge it even quicker, you can use the USB Type-C port right here. Now, this doesn't come with a USB Type-C charger or cable, but the average person does have a USB Type-C cable from their smartphone or whatever, so you can just charge it via this, right, via this port. But what's really cool is that they've turned green now, kind of. You have this built-in battery, and you can use the sun to recharge it, or you can use it. You can charge it through the conventional USB Type-C port. And yes, this is called the Samsung Solar Cell Remote, also known as the Samsung Smart Remote. Now, taking a closer look at the buttons. So, taking a closer look at the buttons here. So, right here we have of course, our on-off switch. So here you have an on-off switch. Here, this button with a microphone, that's our voice assistant button. So you use that if you're using Amazon Alexa or Google Voice, right? This here that has some colors on it and some numbers on it, that's called the color number button. Now, so each time you press this button, the colored buttons window and the virtual numeric pad will come up alternately on the screen, right? So, you know, back in the day, traditionally you would have a remote with all the like 1 to 9, all the different numbers and everything, a button for each number, and it looked, you know, pretty confusing. They've taken that away now and they've given you a virtual keyboard on the screen, so you can, you know, activate it with just one button. Now this button over here has multiple screens on it. That's the multiple view button, right? You press that button to directly enter the multi-view function. Now this is our, of course, directional button. So it's up, down, left, and right. Now looking at it, you may think it's like it has it's touch enabled, like, you know, like capacitive touch or whatever. No, it's just, there are mechanical buttons in here that go up, down, left, and right, but it just has a nice look to it, the circle, right? Here, of course, we have our traditional return button. Here is our home button, and here is our play and pause button for multimedia. Here we have a rocker switch up and down, and that's for channels, and this one on the right here is for volume up and down. And then at the bottom we have our Netflix hot button, our Amazon Prime Video hot button, and our Samsung TV Plus, which is a streaming service from Samsung, and that's the hot button right there. At the bottom we have our little Samsung logo, and you know, you cannot open it because it has a built-in rechargeable battery. And on the back here we have the lovely solar panel that can charge this thing. When it's just sitting down in your living room doing nothing, it will just charge. So you really need to charge it via this. I suspect if you got it if you had it in storage for a long time and it was in the dark, then if you want to use it, you know, get it up and running quickly, yeah, plug this into a power source and it will charge it up quickly. You can use it right off the bat. But you know, once you've done that, you would really need to use this again, because when you're not using the remote, just keep it on its face like that, such that the panel is exposed to the natural ambient light in your home, and it will charge the battery. So that, my friends, is your Samsung Solar Cell remote, also known as the Samsung Smart Remote. Now to connect the Samsung One Connect to the screen assembly, which is this cable, it's very important. You take off these covers off the cable, right? And both of these ends. And this one that actually says TV on it connects into the back of the TV into a connector here. So obviously you want to put it this way with the TV logo facing out, and this actually is an attachment that goes here to protect, like if you pull this by mistake, you don't want it to pull and damage the connection. So this actually has to align with that hole, so you know you have the right orientation. So I'm going to put it in like this and push up. Now the best way to push this in is make sure that this is actually pushed against the back of this TV set, and it goes right in. It clips in place like that. Now this hole, as you can see, lines up with this hole, and you can use one of these clips. So it comes with 3 clips. This is like a little raceway, right? To keep the bend radius a certain way, because you don't want to bend this too much and break the cable. But for this hole here, you'll use this assembly. This actually plugs into that hole there and keeps it like, I don't want to push it in, but you push it in, the arrow's facing up, you clip it in place, and it protects this from damage if you pull this by mistake. Because what you don't want to happen is that you pull on this and then it damages the pins inside there, right? So you use that for that. What we're going to do now is use this little groove along here. It's actually a kind of a raceway. So what we're going to do is just gently push it in here, and it will go along this raceway like that. And then when it gets down here, depending on where you want to put this box, right? You have a lot of cable here. I'm just going to use this table. I'm just going to put it here on this table because that's where the box is for this demonstration. So anyway, what I will show you is that you can use this little blue thing here, it's a raceway. You put this in the raceway like this, and that can go along the back here or something like that, right? So you can have the cable coming down here like this. Again, if you're doing it properly, you would, you know, have it all installed neatly, but I'm just giving you the overview, if you will. I'm going to put this cable in this little raceway here and put it, align it up down here near the bottom of the foot. Like that. So it'd be like this, right? So get some double-sided tape or whatever, you can put it to the back of your TV and it's going to be coming out like that, right? Anyway, that's just the cable management. But what's important is how to hook it up. So this end, obviously, put it in, goes in this port here that says One Connect. So just plug it in. There's only one way to plug it in correctly, so don't worry about plugging it in wrong. And you're nearly there. All that's left now is to plug this into the wall socket. So here's the AC cable. Plugs into here. And then you simply plug this into the wall socket. And your TV is ready to be used. So that's as simple as that. So I hope you enjoyed that last video. Now, if you liked this video and you liked it, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And if you subscribe to my channel, I'm appreciative of that as well. So thank you very much. So listen, there's going to be a lot more content coming out this year and beyond. I plan to be doing quite a few different types of reviews. And I'm also starting to do giveaways now, finally. So that being said, happy gaming and stay safe. Bye-bye.